Hey, what's up guys? This is Jen and today we're going to talk about some beginner guitar mistakes. Now in this video, we're going to focus on chord transitions because I know that you know, because you've been there and I've been there, where you're playing chords like this, or you're playing a song like this. Pause, 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 pause. Pause, 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 pause. And that's not the song at all, right? There's no beat to it, there's no rhythm. You can't play it with the actual recording. So the important thing that I want you to do with chord transitions is keep them in time, especially when you're learning new chords or a new chord with an old chord. So let's just say you're learning A minor and then G, and G is the new chord. Now first, just get the fingering, right? Understand, oh, where do my fingers actually need to go before you set any time to it. So you want to say, okay, my middle finger, goes over to the 6th string 3rd fret. My first finger comes over to the 5th string 2nd fret, and then my 3rd finger comes down to the 1st string 3rd fret. Something like that, right? So get the coordination without any time behind it. Then, you know what's gonna happen. You guys know me well enough. Almost dropped my phone. Even my phone didn't want to do the metronome. Metronome, 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 metronome. This is what has to happen. This is the important thing because we're setting it to a grid. Now, the important thing when we're adding the metronome, especially for beginners, really for anybody, but especially for beginners, when you're more likely to get frustrated and quit, is that you set up a realistic expectation for the time to get from one chord to the next chord. So you can take as many beats as you want. Let's just say I'm going to take 8, okay? So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it doesn't matter to me or to anybody really how many clicks go in between. The important thing is that you're keeping it to the grid because then you can slowly move your tempo up with those counts. So take any chord progression or any 2 chords, whether you know them really well or you're working on them, and set it to a metronome. So this was just at 70, and then you mark in, I like to have like a guitar log where I mark all my tempos, and you mark and you say, okay, I did 8 clicks at 70. Now what if I tried 8 clicks at 80? What would that feel like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but stay on that 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 11. I did pretty good on that. So then I would move that tempo up. But the important thing is that you're staying with that click. A lot of the times I see students work with the metronome and they are really, really trying. They're putting their best effort absolutely into it. But what you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 1. So they're not even really listening to the metronome as they're playing. Not because they're being jerks about it, but because there's too much going on. So the first thing, just start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then add in 2, 3, 4. Listen to the clicks, and then again 2, 3, 4. So just hear that as the heartbeat, right? You can tap your foot. You can move your head. Ooh, could you move your shoulders? Ooh, yeah. 3, 4, 5. That might be a little awkward. I don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Listen to it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with any chord progression, with any transitions, you need to put it to a metronome. Find the tempo where you can do it in a clean way first. Again, don't pressure yourself. Don't keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. Find that tempo where you go like, oh, I can hit this easily. This is not a problem. That's your foundation, because you know you can play it clean there. And then slowly move the tempo up, or slowly start to take clicks away. So let's just say you've been doing pretty good at 70 with 8 clicks. What about 70 with 6 clicks? It's going to cause you to move faster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you move your tempo up from there. Then go back to 70 when you feel good. 4 clicks. You get what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. And you do that for a while. It's gonna take a while, just so you know. And then eventually, the hope is that you're able to do it click by click. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Or even quarter notes. 2, 3, 4, 2. Then 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But the point is that we're slowly making the gap smaller between the transitions. So then, hopefully at the end, there'll only be a 16th note of a space needed to transition to the next chord, because then that's when you're able to play. So I only have a very short amount of time to get to that next chord, but start with a very, very wide gap. That's the important thing. Have a log of all your tempos and all your transitions, so you see your progress, and then you see when you go to practice, like, oh, it's all right there. Okay, I remember from A minor to G, it's 70 at 6 clicks in between. But from A minor to E minor, it's 93 with 2 clicks in between. Something like that. So you don't have to keep guessing. It all stays organized. And I think it's really important for you to be able to see your progress, because you never stop learning guitar. There's always something more challenging. Like, you never just feel like, oh, now I've got it. Now I know how to play guitar. Now I know everything about the guitar. And that can be super motivating, but it can also be really frustrating at times. So if you have this log of all the progress that you've made, even if it's as simple as an A minor to G, and say, wow, I've doubled my tempo in the last month, that's going to be really important for you to see when you get frustrated or when it feels like you're not making progress. You can always make progress with a simple transition or even a more complicated transition. Even 1 BPM is better than you did the day before. And that's how we have to approach the guitar and learning, is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So even a little thing is going to get you to the next level. And then another little thing, and another, and another, and another. And then we have these big breakthrough moments, which are awesome, but really we have to focus on the micro progress, the micro accomplishments. So that's what I want you to focus on when you're doing your transitions. Take a couple minutes of practicing at the beginning of your session. Metronome, log, then get to the fun stuff, then get to the songs, get to whatever you want to do, the riffs. But I guarantee you this is going to help smooth out your playing, make you play faster and cleaner, and it's going to give you confidence. And that's really the big thing, is building your confidence on the instrument. So that's all I've got for this one. This is a Patreon supported video, so thank you to all my patrons who have put up with me just talking to myself, to this camera. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, but really there's nobody here. My cat's not even here. I started doing these videos and he decided to go outside, so he doesn't even want to hear me talk. But my patrons listen to me talk a lot, and I appreciate it. So if you're interested in figuring out how to support me talking a lot, then go to patreon.com/JenTrani, and you can see all the ways that you can. And